resource documentation available in the Flagstar Seller's Guide and helpful tips for loan registration of these one-close construction loans. To locate the construction documents and all other relevant Flagstar documentation on the Flagstar TPO website, click the Seller's Guide menu option. You are brought to the Flagstar Seller's Guide. By clicking the Products option, you can find all of the product descriptions for the construction products. To find all the construction-related forms, click the Forms button. Here you'll find the Construction and Renovation Lending Guide that must be provided to the borrower, as well as the rest of the documents highlighted earlier in this training. The Construction and Renovation Lending Guide contains workflows on the loan process, the contractor and project approval, as well as the draw process. Requirements for all draws, the construction loan fee table, a glossary of terms, and other very useful information are contained in this 27-page document. The very last page is the acknowledgement of receipt of this guide and must be signed by the borrower and accompany the submission to underwriting. The Construction Frequently Asked Questions document goes in depth on the builder and project approval, draws requested at closing, the draw administration process, the final draw, and the project closeout, plus more. It is a great supplement to this initial training. The Construction Period Acknowledgement Form. This is a required form for all Jumbo one-close loans. It discusses the construction period extensions and that there are fees for an extension, as well as there may be a longer construction term available. The Drawn Funding Form is the Construction Loan Disbursement Request Authorization, Form E. The draw forms must be completed by the builder line item by line item and signed by both the builder and borrower. Once the loan is closed, the borrower may reach out to you to provide them with the additional draw request forms. The standard budget is the project approval packet, including the standard budget and the project review checklist to ensure you have everything required for your project review submission to Granite Risk Management. Builders may use their own budget form, but everything should be broken out line by line. The contractor questionnaire is the builder approval packet that includes the contractor questionnaire, Form A, and goes in depth to obtain the information on the builder, including references. And lastly are all the state construction forms, including the state draw requirement letters that need to be provided to the borrowers in the state statutory forms. From the online 1003 main registration page, in order to get the construction product to show up for product selection, there are a few items that must be selected on this page. First, you must select Construction or Construction Permanent from the Loan Purpose dropdown. Choose Fixed or Armed from the Product Type dropdown, and then the Loan Term and Amortization depend on the product the borrower prefers. To calculate, add the interest-only construction period to the loan term. For example, for a 30-year with a 12-month construction term, the loan term selected should be 372 months. Enter the proposed value at completion in the purchase field. Further down the main registration page, in the Property section, you will need to address the building status. Click the drop-down and select Proposed. This is the only option that will populate the construction product. The year built should be the year the build will be complete. A property address is required. If there is not a property address yet identified for the vacant land, list the parcel ID number. Ensure the 1003 includes the borrower's current mailing address while the construction is taking place. To access the construction worksheet, open the Additional Loan Information section of the 1003. The example on this slide is for the construction purpose. Section A of the worksheet is dealing with the value of the lot. Enter the purchase price of the lot. The Acquired Separately toggle button should be used to indicate that the land seller is not the builder. Answer the remaining questions before moving to Section B. Section B. This section calculates the itemized improvements projected in the loan transaction, which will be used to calculate the total construction costs. Costs of improvement is the total of the builder contract. Please refer to the Construction and Renovation Guide for the complete fee table, including inspections and title updates. The other fields are for all items that are not part of the full builder contract, but are part of the cost to build. For example, the draw admin fee and survey fee, like the ones shown here. Total construction cost will total your Section B items. Section C works the same for either loan purpose. This section will calculate the total acquisition cost. The total acquisition cost automatically flows over, and the estimated as appraised field can be modified. The lesser of the acquisition cost or the appraisal will be used only on the construction loan purpose. The base loan amount will automatically appear on the worksheet from the 1003, but it can be edited here. The LTV and CLTVs will be calculated automatically. Section D, the builder info section, is not required for submission to credit underwriting. Once the builder review has been completed by Granite, the builder will be added to the builder info index by the Flagstar Construction Lending team. Section E, the underwriter will calculate and enter the cost per square foot later on in the process, once the appraisal is completed. Once this worksheet is completed, the rest of the 1003 should be reviewed. Once complete, click the Save Loan button to select your product. If you've not completed the items we've gone over in these past few slides, you will get an error and no products will be available. For loans where the borrower owns the vacant land coming into the transaction, the land should be listed in the Real Estate section of the 1003. From the Indicator drop-down menu, select Subject of Loan, and from the Disposition drop-down, select Retained will become Primary. List the entire cost to build, the acquisition cost, as the amount of mortgage liens. This is the only way to get an accurate AUS findings, as construction permanent loans are processed by DU just like a refinance, even if the builder portion is new. Here's an example of the construction worksheet for a construction permanent loan purpose, where the borrower owns the land at the time of application. In Section A, enter the unpaid balance of the lot in the purchase price field. In Section B, most of the items remain the same as a borrower purchasing the land with the loan. The other fields are for all items that are not itemized in the full builder contract, but are part of the cost to build, like the draw admin fee and survey. The total construction cost will total your Section B items. Once the worksheet is complete, scroll to the bottom of the page and click Save Loan to enter product selection. Based on the loan term you entered earlier in the process, only one product will be available. Click the red Float button to float under your desired rate, or click the pricing for the rate to select the rate and then lock it. Once this is complete, you'll be directed to the loan menu. There are some modules that must be completed prior to submitting your loan to underwriting. These can be found on the loan menu. All conforming construction loans must be sent through the desktop underwriter and receive an approve eligible response. The disclosure module is where you'll go to request your loan estimate. This is required prior to submitting the loan to underwriting. If you need more information on requesting a loan estimate through our disclosure management module, you can review the Disclosure Management User Guide or attend our Broker Disclosures training class. To order your appraisal, use the Appraisal Management module on the loan menu. Be sure to include notes for the AMC, such as subject to completion and what documents are attached to the order. At the time of the completion of the appraisal order, additional menu items are available. Here's where you can attach documents like the purchase agreement and plans and specs to your appraisal order. Let's review some resources that can assist you with your origination of these construction loans. First, let's take a look at the contact information for Granite Risk Management. Take a moment to review this information and click the forward button to advance this presentation. All of this information can be found in the product description, review checklists, and draw request forms. Here are the helpful resources from Flagstar for these one-close construction loans. If you're having issues with loan registration, you will want to contact the Wholesale Loan Center at the email and phone options shown here. If you have general questions, you can contact the Underwriting Help Desk at the options shown here. And lastly, you can always contact your underwriter when your loan is in process. Here are some Flagstar-related classes that will help you with your origination and closing of these one-close construction loans. All of these courses are available in the Flagstar LMS. TPO.flagstar.com workflow will teach you what is necessary to get your loan registered in the Flagstar system all the way through submission to underwriting, with the exception of disclosures. Broker Disclosures is designed for disclosing table-funded loans, like these construction loans with Flagstar. And lastly, Flagstar Closing Services covers requesting your closing disclosure and closing. These are the objectives we covered in this course. In addition to viewing this course, you must also take and pass the assessment that accompanies it in order